guys, this is Comic Uno and Comic Frontline, and today I'm talking about a movie called Interstellar. So let's talk about it. I was very excited for Interstellar. This is a movie I was really looking forward to just because it is Christopher Nolan. It's been a while since I've seen a movie, actually since the summer. I've been really busy. I wanted to go see Gone Girl, I wanted to go see a couple movies, I just wasn't able to. So finally I got to see Interstellar and Big Hero 6 this week. Big Hero 6 reviews on my channel, Interstellar's on Comic Frontline. So Christopher Nolan movie, we all know his movies could be a little out there with the ending, and you gotta keep guessing, come up with your theories. Dark Knight was the same way, Inception, all his movies are like that. So I was expecting that with Interstellar also. So Interstellar stars Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway. We get to see Matt Damon in here too. And it's about trying to find a place to live. Earth is getting destroyed by natural disasters. These dust storms are destroying mankind and making food not available. So crops are dying every year, and it's up to Matthew McConaughey to figure out a way to go to another planet, and that takes about 3 hours to find out, and there's a lot of complications along the way. I'm not going to spoil the movie, so this is going to be the non-spoiler section, and then I'm going to have a spoiler section, so I'll warn you guys when spoiler comes. But overall, I do think this movie was very, very lengthy, and I could tell that some people were starting to get bored. I went actually with my mom to this, and she felt very bored throughout the whole entire thing, so I don't think this is for everybody. Definitely don't think this movie's for everybody, and I heard someone snoring in the background. Yeah, so it's very long. Be prepared for that. But really, a lot of Christopher Nolan films are, and I do think you felt the length here, and I think that was a big problem with this movie, is that even though there's a lot of tension, a lot of great moments, and for me particularly, I didn't look at the clock, I could tell why other people would. It's very interesting, it flows, but there had to be some stuff that should have been cut here. Maybe not in the beginning, maybe some middle stuff, I don't know, but it was a bit too long, and I think it kind of ran over its time limit there. And I think it's a very complex movie. For me, I love that it was complex. I like that you could definitely theorize about it after and really think about the film, which I do like about movies, or at least certain type of movies. It's like you come out of it not just like, oh, that was a great movie, let's forget about it. With Interstellar, it's a movie's like, hey, maybe we should watch this again and actually look at the ideas and the hints that they left throughout the whole movie. And you really could think about it for a longer period of time, like films like Inception and not really Dark Knight, but Dark Knight Rises was very much like that. So yeah, that's a thing I did enjoy. And even though I'm not a science person, I like the science mumbo jumbo that maybe some other people won't like. If you don't like science mumbo jumbo, you're not going to like this movie, because there's a lot of science terms thrown at you, and actually just a lot of thoughts about time and space and dimensions that you're going to get really confused by. So as I said, movie's not for everybody, but I think the performances were very well done, and I want to say that the daughter of the movie was very well done, and Matthew McConaughey's performance. He led the movie very well. Anne Hathaway, honestly, I felt, you know, her character was a little bit blah, didn't care about her as much. Once I get to the spoiler section, I'll talk a little bit more about that, but didn't really care much about Anne Hathaway's character. But Matthew McConaughey really drove the movie, and if it was somebody else, you know, it might have been even more of that looking at the clock because it's such a long movie. But because of Matthew McConaughey's performance, you really do get into that thrillerness of this movie. And what I could compare this to is Gravity, except times 10. So if you enjoyed Gravity and you like that type of stuff, you'll probably really enjoy Interstellar, especially if you really like science. I think you'll enjoy it. And before I get to the spoilers, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid movie. I can't give this 5 stars. It's not a 5-star movie for me, but the visuals, the imagination where they go to different planets and different dimensions was great. As someone that loves film and is studying film, I love that. But I don't think everyone is, so not everyone's going to love this film, and I'm trying to think about that in that perspective too. So overall, I thought it was a very solid movie. I probably will not go see it again. It's just way too long. As much as I want to theorize about it, I don't know if I could sit through that. 2 hours and 45 minutes again. Maybe like skip to parts when it's on demand or something to really figure out what's going on. But yeah, so overall I'm going to give it 4 stars. Now going to the spoiler section of this movie, the movie goes into some interesting directions, and my favorite direction was with the father and daughter relationship, where you get to see the daughter turn into an old lady, really. And I thought that's why you really needed the lengthy beginning to really get this family going and understand about the family basis, because even though it was Matthew McConaughey's movie, it was truly the daughter's movie at the same time. Her name's not Mulligan. Her name is, can't think of her name. It has something to do with science. I just had it in my mind. But it was interesting that they went a science route with it. But yeah, I do like the daughter and father relationship and how important the daughter ended up being throughout the whole film. So that was an interesting aspect, and there's this idea of the supernatural element, kinda, where she thinks she's seeing a ghost, and getting these ideas because of a ghost, and as she gets older and as Matthew McConaughey goes through his journey, you find out the ghost was actually Matthew McConaughey, and I really like that idea of something that you think would be supernatural making sense in a scientific way, and then by the end of the film, making everyone live on Saturn and having, like, three-dimensional world where houses are, it's kind of like Inception in a way, except in real life and not in your dream. So you get a lot of that here. So yeah, it gets kind of confusing. If you're not into science, it gets very confusing. Like, how the hell is that house like that? I don't understand why he's in the bookcases right now. How does that connect to the bookcases? But it's the idea of time, how you can't go back, and Matthew McConaughey kind of saw back. He saw in the past. And that, I think what the big idea is about is that self is very important. You know, in science, like, individualism is not as important, so it's interesting that they really went the route of one person could change something. And I don't think you look at that as often in a scientific lens. So it's cool that they went that direction with the daughter and Matthew McConaughey's character. And, you know, always thinking it's like, oh, aliens kind of gave us this idea, but you see that humans made the idea of this three-dimensional world. So it's interesting showing how humans have more strength than we even know, and more willpower to create a world like this. So that was an interesting aspect also. But yeah, like I said, overall, I think it was a good movie. I do want to touch upon Anne Hathaway's character for a second, though. Honestly, I didn't really care about her in the end. The ending goes that Anne Hathaway, she finds another planet. She does not know what's going on with Saturn and Matthew McConaughey's daughter. And we thought Matthew McConaughey was going to die, but he goes through this black hole, which I thought was really interesting that you see the scientific works of what happens when you go into a black hole. But Anne Hathaway, she goes on this planet. She's trying to do that plan B, where she's trying to fertilize this planet. And we see that Matthew McConaughey goes back and goes on another adventure to save her. So pretty much the movie's going to happen again in a way. And he's still going to do the things he did. Even though his daughter told him to stay in the first time he did it, the second time he's like, I'm going to go save Anne Hathaway. Let's go. So he's pretty much doing this whole adventure again to save, I guess, the person he loved. I don't really know if they really show chemistry, because there's a big idea about love in this film. So maybe he's like, I really love Anne Hathaway, even though you never showed it. Let me go save her. So yeah, that Anne Hathaway ending, a lot of people were just like scratching their head in the end, and I feel the same way. I think that's a character that could have gotten killed off, and I think Matthew McConaughey should have just stayed with his daughter. I felt like that would have been a better ending, or maybe had another cliffhanger ending, but Anne Hathaway just didn't end up caring enough about to make that the cliffhanger of him going on another adventure. So I thought that was a weaker part 2 for the ending. But overall, solid movie. I give it 4 stars, really great visuals, and obviously a lot to talk about. But please tell me in the comments below what you thought about this movie. If you're interested in the movie, this is Comic Uno, Comic Frontline. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Random Situations. Also, don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, in the description below, there's links for my comic book, Like Father-Like Daughter. Don't forget to like the Facebook page, Like Father-Like Daughter. And there's only a day left for the Kickstarter, so be sure to back that up, and I'll be annotated. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.